This video is a follow-up of why dating sucks after awakening. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend just click on my profile. It's the last video I put out. It's less than 2 minutes. It's gotten over 25,000 views in just over a day. And I just wanted to follow up on it because I feel like there's an opportunity here for a lot of healing to take place. So in that video, I shared an example of a guy and a girl getting together and what happens with the energy. And in the example I used after they broke up, the guy went and did some healing and the girl went off and slept with 3 guys, collected all this negative energy in her aura field. And then, a guy who did the healing comes along and questions if he wants to blend with that kind of energy, right? A lot of women were like, this is fantastic, this is great. A lot of guys were on board. But I could, when you get sensitive to energy a little bit, you can feel those comments where the person typing them are just steaming, right? And there's a lot of women getting triggered. And basically what I was saying was that this woman, rather than take time after the relationship to heal and go within and get rid of that person's energy, she goes off and sleeps with a bunch of people to distract herself from taking accountability as to why the relationship could fail. And there's the comments that are coming in, they're like, this should be the other way around, this is men not women, blah blah blah, women are more spiritually attuned. I just want to mention that being spiritually attuned and being able to take accountability for your negative actions is 2 completely different things. For me, whether it's in my personal life, I've experienced when my 22-year-long relationship came to a sudden end on girls' night out. But when it came to divorce lawyers, all of a sudden she never cheated and had no idea what I was talking about. And I've spent some time watching podcasts on relationships, and guys all over the world have talking about the exact same things. So why is it so hard for a lot of women to take accountability for their actions when it comes to being in the negative? And what I believe is that a lot of girls growing up did not have their emotional needs met, and this led them to feel insignificant and unworthy growing up. And this is something that a lot of women are carrying around with them today. And if they had to take accountability for something negative, let's say in a relationship, then that's going to bring up this unhealed trauma that they've been carrying around their whole entire life. As someone that's done that personally and healed, looking back, I can totally see the difference. Anytime you find yourself being triggered, you have a great opportunity in front of you, because whenever something really triggers you where you're just like, meh, right? There's healing to be taking place there, because something within you that you're afraid to look at or just unaware that it's there, that can happen too. But there's something within you that you haven't healed that for some reason you either don't want to look at because it's too painful, or you don't want to take accountability for it. But that's what triggers us. And so you can take a moment to ask yourself, why am I getting triggered here? That's the great journey. That's how you start the journey within. Why am I being triggered here? What is it that triggers me about this? If you're a woman, I know there's the divine queens sitting out there that aren't triggered by any of this. If you're a woman that's triggered by a man saying women have problems taking accountability for their actions, maybe you are one of those. You can call me a fucking purple dinosaur all day long and I probably won't get upset. It might get annoying, but I won't get upset because there's no truth to it, right? So it's an opportunity to go within and do some healing. When I think about this whole masculine and feminine clash that's going down on planet Earth right now, it's like, how do we heal this? And really, everybody just wants to point fingers and it feels like blame, but at some point we got to be like, okay, hold on a second here, let's take accountability. We have to point things out in order for you to take accountability. You can't heal something if you're not aware of it. Have you ever heard of a woman say there's no good guys out there? Now let's take a look at online dating. If a fairly attractive woman creates a profile, she gets 50 to 100 likes a day. In the last 2 years, I had 3 matches that led to dates. If a pretty girl got as many matches as I did in the last 2 years, she probably would have jumped off a building thinking something was wrong with her. If women have all the options and they're complaining that there's no men out there, what does that really mean? What that means is somewhere in your selective process, there's a kink in your armor. You know, down here on planet Earth, society has been set up in a way that everybody's stressing out about money and stuck in their primal chakras and fears. And it's to the point where we've completely disregarded what the most important thing is when it comes to relationships. And that's connection. We throw that out window for material, superficial bullshit. I don't give a fuck what a woman does. If that connection's there, I don't care if we've lost everything and we're sitting in a fucking ditch. If you're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen and we have this connection and all this shit in common, don't care what I'm doing, don't care fucking where we are, I'm in paradise, right? And all too often women are thinking that materialistic gains are the most important thing. You know, you want to brag to your friend, oh, I got fucking this guy who's got this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And then you get in a connection where the money's there and you wonder where the connection is. Another thing I talked about in that video, and basically how when you're dating multiple people, having sex with multiple partners, you're collecting all this energy and you're spreading it around, unhealed energy all around. And, you know, a lot of women, once again, were like, oh, that's what men do, that's what men do. But monkey branching was basically invented because women can't be in one relationship and then end it, take some time to heal, and then go into another relationship. The majority, for you that are freaking out there, need to have a backup plan, and therefore they're dividing their attention in their current relationship because there's all these other options that they have to have just in case, because God forbid if something happened in this relationship, they might have to sit with themselves, go within, and maybe take accountability for why it failed. And we wouldn't want to do that, because then again we'd bring up that unhealed childhood trauma that would make us feel insignificant and unworthy. Guys gotta start appreciating the fucking ladies. You know, I was in a relationship, marriage together for 22 years, and you know, I had no problem appreciating my wife. I knew I appreciated her. You know, when it comes to the fellas, the one thing that I've come to believe is that guys haven't learned to appreciate what they got. Now I know this, like, I hear volcanoes going off, right? But like, I was married in a relationship, whatever, for 22 years, and I've been single for 4 years. And I'm not going to say that I didn't appreciate my wife at the time. You know, I was very grateful to have a beautiful partner and a fantastic sex life. I was very grateful for a lot of things, right? And it wasn't, but however, it wasn't until, you know, where I am right now that I'm like 4 years single. I'm like, you know, if you have someone by your side, you've been through some shit, and you know, things might not be perfect all the time, but if you have someone through thick and thin, not to mention you have a child with them, you truly are the richest guy in the world. You know, I've learned to be happy on my own, and I just deleted all my dating apps because I don't want to date anymore. But it doesn't mean that I don't think that if you have someone in your life, that you're not the luckiest person in the world. You know, if it's healthy, if it's fun, you know, that's great. It's not always going to be like that, but as long as it's not like super toxic, right? The fellas need to start appreciating what they got. You know, there's a lot of dudes that aren't working out at all, that are eating fast food, that have pretty decent wives that have absolutely no appreciation for them. You want to get some action, you know, start working with your partner. And if that's not something that's working, then you have to ask yourself, is that connection something you want to continue being in? And all these Andrew Tates and all these guys and all the fucking music today is just like, it's just advertising people to go out and, you know, sleep around. It's trying to normalize it. I don't know where dating is headed, but people on both sides need to start taking accountability for what they're doing wrong. That's all I got. Thanks for watching.